Good morning, everyone. This is Monica at monicacanton.com, and I am going to be talking about 12 Days of Dreaming. And it was an idea that came to me about 3 days ago, actually. So I'm just going to quick say a little bit about myself. So my name is Monica Canton. I do a lot of work with people who are high achievers, people who are also spiritual soul seekers, who are looking for that path for themselves to follow their soul, follow their intuition in a way that feels really good to them, right? So I help a lot of different people with that. I also am a shaman, a dream teacher, an active dream teacher, and I love to teach people all kinds of different ways of looking at their life to make it more amazing and more beautiful, right? So today I'm going to be talking about dreaming, and I've done a lot of different things in the past where I've done different experiences for people, and they always have really big ahas and big, what would I say? Big transformations. So this is a YouTube, so I'm not going to be doing all the same things that I do in my regular programs or in more private pages, but it is a chance to really go deep within and to really connect. So also feel free to connect in the live chat and to be able to ask any questions, right? Because that's really what these 12 days of dreaming are about. And I'm going to actually light a candle because I haven't done that. So just taking a moment, getting in that sacred space. I know we've had a really intense year, and just being able to look at how are we going to approach this new time that we're living in a way that's really sacred and beautiful. So I love to light a candle, and that's what I'm going to do for right now. Okay. I'm talking about dreaming. So I've been a dreamer all my life. And what does that mean? And I think we've all been dreamers all our lives at certain moments. And dreaming is really the ability to get out of our head, get out of the ways that we've been thinking about things, and to step into more magic, more creativity, and to believe things that are possible. And what happens so often is when we're kids, there are so many different opportunities where some of that is snuffed out. Some of that's snuffed out during schooling. You need to believe this way, you need to do this. Some of it is saying, oh, I need to be practical, or I need to, well, that isn't reality, right? And so the ability to dream is something that shamans have been doing for eons, for centuries, right? And they're able to tap into that world of the imaginary, that world of almost this matrix of possibility. And as we start to learn more about our spiritual connection, we're getting the opportunity to connect into that matrix of possibility, right? And so one of the things I'm going to ask all of you is just to be really conscious of, when do you stop dreaming? When you don't see something immediately? I know can get really impatient. And if it doesn't happen immediately, then I'm kind of shaken up, and I'm just like, okay, well, that dream isn't meant to happen. So one of the things I'm going to talk about dreaming, and I'm going to talk about the dreams that we have at night and the dreams that we have at day. But one of the things that it's fueled by, and our lives are fueled by, are intentions, right? And, people ask me all the time, well, I don't know what intention to put out there in the world, but we're doing it every single day. We're doing it every single minute. We're putting intentions out by the thoughts that we think, by what we put out there in the world, right? And so why not be really conscious of it? Right? So often we'll just be like, well, such and such is going to say that, or this situation is never going to pan out, or if I say this, then I won't be able to have this opportunity. Those are intentions, right? And we don't realize it because those are kind of the monkey mind thoughts that we have going on in our brain, but they're intentions. So why not be super conscious of what intentions that you have? And so I'm always big into, not just even an intention for the day, but what's the intention for you even listening to this YouTube video, right? Is it to gain spiritual growth? Is it to get a clue into how to live your most amazing life, right? And so intentions, so often, we're getting to the end of the year. I'm doing this at 2020, right? The 26th of, I was going to say 26th of February, the 26th of December. And in 2020 when things have gone really crazy. And so we're kind of like a little shy, a little bit kind of timid about putting out intentions because what's going to happen, right? But knowing that we can't control it. We can't control where our intentions go and how it happens, but we can continue to put it out there. So often people will put goals out there, right? I'm going to earn X amount of dollars. I'm going to have this many clients. I'm going to have this kind of a relationship. Those kinds of things. We put those goals out there, but the intentions are coming from that soul place, right? And so some of them can be, yeah, I want to go today and find something to make me happy, to feel more energy, to have more vibrancy in my life. I'm willing to step into developing my spiritual connection in a deeper way, right? And so, how does this all show up with dreaming? Is I've given you two examples where a monkey mind puts out all these intentions that we don't even know, but they are powerful. And then we need to connect in with whatever our connection is, be it God, spirit, universe. And dreaming is universal, right? Dreaming is universal. It does not have any bounds. It does not have religions. It doesn't pick a particular one or a particular way of believing, right? Dreaming is universal, and that is what the beauty of it is, right? So I'm going to talk to you right now then. Once you have an intention, then all of a sudden energy moves because we're no longer saying to energy or God, spirit, universe, yeah, just bring it on from whatever. It's all of a sudden saying, yeah, you want to feel happy? We're going to start bringing that energy in, right? So there's a couple ways about dreaming. Dreaming is, I've talked about the general concept of it. It's about being creative, creative with the universe, creative with God, creative with spirit, and creating your best life because that's what we're here to do, right? Then it's about being able to connect in with the dream time. So the dream time, like I said before, that's where shamans have gone. That's where mystics have gone. That reality where we create in the dreams before they happen in our day-to-day reality, right? And I'm going to call it ordinary reality because the dream world is just as real. So what happens sometimes with this whole dreaming, especially at nighttime, people who don't remember their dreams, they immediately say, well, I don't remember my dreams. Intention, right? That's the intention that is put out then. And so you could say something like, I don't remember my dreams yet. I'm really curious. I'm excited to be able to remember my dreams. I'm going to put it out there that I'll remember something from my dreams. And why is it important to do that? Because our dreams, like I said, will give us the information. Most often, about 80% of our dreams give us information for the future. Things that might happen in the future, things that we can change now so they don't happen in the future, right? That's one of the powers of dreams. It also gives us the ideas that we need to go forward. So doing these 12 days live of talking about dreaming came from this, from my dreams saying, hey, you need to do these 12 days. And I was just like, no, I'm going to be going within, going deep, all of that kind of thing. But I was here to talk about dreams. And that's what my dreams told me, right? So with dreaming, we get these ideas. And so often when we're in this practical mindset, it's just like, well, I'll do that later on, right? And one of the things about dreaming and one of the things about intention is then when you get this idea or this thing that you're called to do, it's about taking an action, right? Because our dreams it's our soul talking to us, and our soul wants to know that we're keeping our promises. And so, for example, with this 12 days, I was just like, well, I just kind of want to sleep. I'm tired. And at the same time, it's like, no, but this is what I'm here to do. Because every action we take, imperfect as it is, moves the energy towards our intention, right? So if we're wanting to feel happy and all of a sudden it's saying, hey, clean out your closet, and you don't do it because it's like, oh, but that's not going to do that. you're not listening to your soul, right? So we get that opportunity to listen to our soul with our dreams. So some people don't remember their dreams, right? I didn't remember my dreams for a really, really long time because the last dream I had in my 20s was a nightmare. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. That nightmare was, and feel free to ask questions if you have questions. I think I'm supposed to see the questions here. Um, this also is just my first live stream in over a year. So I'm showing you how you can take imperfect action, right? On a dream. But I didn't remember my dreams back then. I just had a nightmare of a bird dying in a cage. Didn't have any food or any water, right? And of course, with that dream, I'm sure as heck not going to want to go back into it, right? But dreams are alive. And I didn't know that back then until I started connecting in with people who knew how to do that. People who, shamanic work principally is how I started. And then getting into more active dreaming, which is shamanic dreaming or being able to connect in with the dreams and see what it has to tell you. So with this dream, with this nightmare that I had, I didn't want to go back into it because I just felt gross, right? And once I got into this place of being able to understand how to work with dreams and actually work with that energy, I could shift and change that. And that's what I teach people to do, right? And with that dream of that bird, I went back into that dream. And people are just like, what do you mean you go back into that dream? And that's something I teach people to do and something I'll probably talk about in one of the lives later on. But being able to go back into that live world of energy, because sometimes those nightmares are coming to just say, hey, really pay attention, because it got my attention, right? Whereas if I just had a really la-di-da dream, I might not have remembered. But I went back into that dream and I got the opportunity then to be able to say, oh, wow, those birds, that's me. That's my essence. That's a part of me that I haven't been feeding. I haven't been watering. And I haven't been, and it was that soul essence because I wasn't back then awakened. I'm one of those people that I didn't remember. I didn't do all this spiritual work until my mid 30s, right? And that's why I can teach people at this time because I had to go through every little step, right? But with that dream, then I decided, I made a commitment, I made an intention that I was going to start remembering my dreams. And with my remembering of those dreams, for that next year and a half, almost 2 years, all of a sudden I started having dreams of birds, right? Some of them were still in cages. Others were locked in cages with books on top of them because I was a scholar, right? I was a university instructor for 25 years. And if I couldn't find it in a book, I didn't want to do it, right? I didn't want to experience it. And so dreaming gave me the opportunity to experience my soul. Yeah. And with that, I had other dreams. Eventually, I saw birds walking around. And finally, after about 2 years, there was a bird that was on a telephone pole. And then there was a bird that was flying. And that's the power of dreaming, because what's going on when we're dreaming, what's showing up is when we pay attention and when we honor them, we're given the opportunity to have deep soul growth. We get the opportunity to shift and change those things within that we don't know how to change, right? For whatever reason, my wings were shut down. I hadn't acknowledged my ability to fly, to soar, to vision, to dream. But through that time in the dream world, even if I didn't know exactly everything to do, the dreams were healing me. And we forget that, right? Because we want to be all in control. It's all about me, right? And actually, we get that opportunity every single night to have this healing happen, to have this, to have pieces of ourselves come back. And being aware of the dreams and being able to write them down and to honor them continues to tell our soul, because our soul is that place, that's that soul dreaming, right? It's telling our soul that, yeah, we're listening and we're going patiently along. So I'm sharing that place because so often people say, I don't remember my dreams. And it's a practice, it's a relationship, because it's a relationship with your soul. And so often, like relationships that we have with people, we're not going to say, you're crazy. We're not going to say that to the person. You're crazy. I'm not going to listen to you, to your friend. You're going to listen to your friend and listen to what's going on with that person, right? That's the same. That's the same with the dream world, right? We get that opportunity to really listen and go deeper. So, what happens if you don't remember your night dreams? Because sometimes there are certain times that people won't remember them. For example, you can continue to practice, and most often they'll open up. And in fact, if you listen to these 12 days, probably your dreams are going to open up, because they always do with people who do stuff with me, because I'm a dream awakener. That's evidently what I was blessed with, which I didn't know until I started working with them, right? So just pay attention, because they will show up. But if you've been on certain medications or certain things that you need for certain health things, right? You might not remember them as much. So what is the other way of dreaming? Because I talked about two types of dreaming. We have the night dreaming, and then we have the daydreaming, right? And the daydreaming is all the clues, the signs, the symbols, everything during the day that shows up to give us the opportunity to live our best life, fueled by that intention that I was talking about earlier, right? So everything is alive. And that's what shamans talk about. That is energetic. Everything pulses with aliveness. And that aliveness for you is also during the day. And when you consciously put an intention out there and expect to get an answer, you will. It's letting go of that mind saying, but I don't understand these signs. I don't understand these symbols. So how do signs and symbols show up? They show up in the form of an animal. Like, I don't have any that are showing up outside right now, but sometimes a woodpecker shows up outside. And the woodpecker for me is all about beating to a different drum, right? Because it's a very unique type of bird. So when a woodpecker shows up, I'm getting the opportunity to say, okay, how am I going to do my own thing, right? It could be, so an animal could show up. It could be snatched conversation that you overhear from somebody. All of a sudden they talk really loud and you're just like, oh, that's an answer for me. I like to go on Facebook or Instagram or any of the social media and be able to get a clue that shows up. All of a sudden somebody will talk about something. It's like, oh yeah, that means something to me. And so it can be on a billboard. It can be in a store. It could be something that all of a sudden you see on your walk. It could be all of a sudden that you feel compelled to go for a walk. And it's just like, I don't know why I'm being called to walk. And you go outside and all of a sudden you see something and that reminds you of something. That is a clue, a symbol, something to make your life much more rich, right? And that is being able to dream while awake and knowing that it happens constantly, right? And then working with people and saying, well, if this were your symbol or if this was your dream, what would it mean? So one of the things people ask me, and like I said, feel free to ask questions because this is live, and maybe I don't have it set up that you can ask questions. I don't know, but feel free to ask them. One of the things that people ask is saying, well, should I get a dream dictionary? No, because the dream dictionary was written by somebody, not you. It wasn't written by your dream self. So I like to give a good example of this. For example, I have dreams where there are donuts in them at times. The round, puffy, fluffy, carbs, sweetness donuts that, some people will be like, oh my gosh, I had a dream of a donut. I'm maybe it's because I'm too fat or I'm too this or I'm too that, right? Or they'll just be like, oh, I don't understand why I would have that dream. Or they might say to me, like if I had the dream of the donut, and they'll say, oh yeah, well, Monica, it's just maybe you need to lay off the sweets. But they don't understand my symbology with that image. And that image to me means my first job, because I worked at a donut shop for many, many years. It was my first paycheck. It was, it's what sustained me for 6 years to be able to do a lot of the things that I do. So when I have dreams of donuts, I know that there's gonna be some money stuff involved, of maybe earning some money, doing something that can bring that in for me. And so I encourage all of you to really look at your signs and symbols, and instead of saying right away, "That's crazy. That doesn't make sense," to stop for a moment. Because if it came to you, first of all, it's not crazy, right? Because it's your soul talking to you. So don't say that to your soul, right? If it comes to you, just be curious. Write it down. Say, what does this have for me today? What does this symbolize for me? And you can start to shift and change things in a beautiful way. Now, I'm going to be doing these 12 days of dreaming. Each day is going to be fueled on questions that you might have. First of all, I was guided to talk about intention, talk about the 2 ways of dreaming. And what I'd really encourage all of you to do today is, what is your soul's intention today? What do you want guidance on? To feel happy, to feel joyful, to understand more of that next product that you're going to be launching. It could be around your health. It could be about attracting a relationship, a partner into your life. It could be guidance on writing a book. I'm just getting all this stuff, right? Guidance on writing a book, on expressing your creativity, on being healthy. And just ask for the dreams to show up. First in the daytime, then tonight, go to sleep and see if you remember something. And I'll be talking tomorrow about dreams and things like that based on questions coming in. But I encourage you to put a journal by your bedside. I have, I feel these things like crazy, right? But I didn't to begin with. But I didn't stop. And that's what I really encourage you with the dreaming, because you're going to find that a dream that you wrote, or even a snippet, like one little color, like I had a dream with this color, and this color actually showed up with this bracelet 2 weeks, 3 weeks, this bracelet showed up. And then with the dream, I figured out what it meant. Because so often we are guided, we are guided to live our most amazing life. And we just get to wake up and actually put in the work, and not work like hard work, but to put in the action and to consciously say, yeah, I'm going to look at this and see what this means. And for me, this color meant it was explosive, what it awoke in me, of where I had let go of so many dreams, of so many quirky ways of myself. And I really encourage you, and I wish that for all of you, this opportunity to connect in with your soul in a deeper way. To give these 12 days a time to just be like, okay, here's my intention for the day. Go to sleep, see if you remember something, write it down. Or even if all of a sudden you wake up and you have an idea and you're like, well, that's just a crazy idea. That's a dream. Write it down. Anything that just seems like it's like a gift, right? A gift from Spirit, God, Universe, even if it feels scary, right? I know that as a shaman and as a dream shaman and as a dream teacher, I see a lot of people's dreams before they show up. And I know that there's a lot of scary things out there. However, a lot of times they just want attention, and they're going to shift and change. And I'll share with that, share you. I'll share that with you in the days to come. So feel free to add any comments. Feel free to like, share, um, subscribe to my channel, and also feel free to subscribe to my newsletter at monicakenton.com. There you'll find, that's where I share when I do new opportunities and new dream experiences. So wishing you a lovely day. Hold that intention, have fun, look at the daytime symbols, and see what your nighttime shows up. And I will meet you back here at 9 a.m. Central Time because I'm Minnesotan, yeah. And I will see you later. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Wishing you all an amazing day filled with dream-filled synchronicities to live your most amazing and best life because that's what you deserve. Bye-bye.